Oh, and Garter's back.
And Garter is back instead of Cole, who was playing in there the previous game. But other than that, they seem to be having the exact same lineup as they played with the previous matches.
Wasn't Garter playing before?
He was playing yesterday, but not in the series they were playing in Europe.
They played earlier today. But yeah, they had the exact same lineup for NLG Gaming as well as for Monkey Freedom Fighters, which I really like because we saw them in this form, and I would like to see them perform in the form that we saw them in.
Wait, so no Kebab, but way too.
Yeah.
They do play both games on EU though, right?
Yes.
I believe so.
I believe
So 2 American players.
So are we sure that Kebabs is even in the team?
No, because at the same time we also know that Kebab was in the team of fucking Mad and friends with Sakshka, Kebab, +2.
Yeah, because
They actually played.
They actually played in the second open qualifiers, and they got to top 8, but they lost.
Okay.
All right. Interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, for this game, usual suspects: no Doom, no Shadow Fiend. It's just gonna be a matter of time for probably Darkseer gets removed.
I think one team has to ban IO or Darkseer, like No Logic Gaming. They have first pick, I think.
No Logic Gaming has first pick, yes.
Yeah, so whichever. I think they play the IO so good, like so well. If they combo better.
No Logic Gaming?
Yeah. Like Spartan plays it amazingly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the double save yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's a beast on there.
If you know how to save someone with your relocate and with your re-relocate, yeah, it's pretty decent. Nice soccer actually.
So they do get Darkseer IO.
Yeah, Darkseer IO making it through.
That's huge.
If you were No Logic Gaming, which one would you choose?
You could leave both of them unbanned, so they pick one, you get the other. That's the way to go.
No, that makes sense.
That's
that makes
what
sense.
Monkey Freedom Fighters would do.
I mean,
But that's what Monkey
Like
Freedom
in this
Fighters do.
situation, they
because they have first pick.
No Logic Gaming doesn't want to leave both in, but they also have no choice anymore into banning anything.
no.
out.
Lumi's saying if you're Monkey Freedom Fighters, you
You
leave.
don't
Yeah.
ban either.
Yeah, that makes
exactly.
sense.
You don't
Like,
ban like
right
this.
now. So Queen of Pain is the ones, and they go for Darkseer, so they get their hands on that. And I believe that's Mitch's hero. Sad that we won't see him on the solo Bane though, because that was pretty fun to see as
That
well.
was huge.
I think that Darkseer is a pretty messed up hero, at least in the way that current things go. You talked about how he's good at kind of securing your off lane and the safe lane.
Yeah.
I just think what are the downsides to that hero? He gets mech quick, which is great right now because fights happen quite early.
I mean, downside to me is that he, beside the combo in the mid game, he doesn't offer much.
That's not true though. If you
I mean,
have
he offers a
if you have high
surge.
mobility heroes, you know, like you give them Iron Shell, like Ember Spirit, Night Stalker, that kind of stuff, you can make that hero so much more powerful with the Iron Shell and Surge.
Yeah, but that's more like maybe early mid game,
Okay,
where
like-
shell matters that much.
Yeah.
But in the later portion of the game, until you're like really fat, having Axe and Refresher, even then it's still a combo you need to pull off.
That's true.
And when a BKB fight starts, you're not gonna vacuum a BKB target, so it's suboptimal in that sense. But he offers just a lot of pressure in the early mid game, and that's what you have to utilize.
I think to be fair that since I feel like the game length has really shortened, I think that's why we see Darkseer much more,
Yeah,
right? Because we don't
definitely.
see the stage where there's 3 BKB carries on the other side anymore. At least not as frequently, so
I think even late game though, you can farm so well with the Iron Shell.
split push.
Yeah, exactly. You can just get a Hex, that kind of stuff, Blink Hex. It's still really powerful.
10 seconds
Ayo.
remaining.
So they get both.
They do get both.
Radiant team
They must be
banned.
feeling pretty happy with themselves right now.
Dire team
They ban
banned.
Ember themselves. So, does that say you want to go for an illusion hero?
They picked
Radiant
up
team banned.
Slark yesterday
They
with
did.
an IO as well. Was that that game? But Garter played Slark. He played a really good Slark too.
It was like a dual
No, they
offlane.
picked,
That was with Lich.
Yeah. Lich is still in the pool as well.
I thought they had Wisp
Struggle.
Ember yesterday themselves.
10 seconds remaining.
It was
It was Wisp
Ember
Ember, yeah.
safe lane, PL offensive tri-lane with Wisp and
5
Bane. Right? That
seconds.
was
Yeah.
the
Wasn't
game.
it Ember mid?
Or Ember mid, yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
That's
MMF
probably actually the
PL.
Excalibur
partner
was
here that
playing.
they will pick up again
Ooh,
with a
Meeple
Wisp.
Radiant
I would say
team
that No
picked.
Logic Gaming is going to aim towards a
A
Bane
what?
support.
Bane or
Oh,
Disruptor.
Necrolight's still in
I
the
think
pool.
Bane is good. The Disruptor is just too weak on his own. Bane
Okay.
offers stability for a weak support such as Wisp.
Okay.
Like to keep someone out of the lane, and it's also quite good against the Darkseer.
And you're saying this for no logic.
Yeah, No Logic.
Yeah.
It's like the thing is you take away a support that helps you, but it's also good against
10
your offlane,
seconds
against the
remaining.
Darkseer.
What do you think of the No Logic Gaming picking up
5
both
seconds
the PA
remaining.
and Necrolight? So, like, they do like their Necrolight. I know that for a fact.
I mean, Necro has
Reserve
pretty good
time.
synergy with Aya,
Yeah, and the
and Tiny is banned.
yeah.
that's your preferred combo to go with, I think that's not too bad here.
There's still CK. The illusions are going to be good against the wall.
There's still Bane actually.
Or not wall, the
Could they
tombstone.
I think Bane was a massive part. Sorry. for
Bane,
interrupting
yeah,
you.
Bane was really
That's
good.
what Hani was
That's
saying.
what I
Yeah,
just
yeah, sorry.
But in terms of you mentioned like, are they planning on picking up an illusion hero? You just mentioned illusion hero to pick up, and I just forgot what you said.
CK.
CK,
Yeah.
illusion hero. There you go.
That works, yeah.
Well, more so works with the Wisp.
Yeah, with IO as well as banning out heroes that would be good against illusion
Well,
hero. So
I
it works
think
both ways.
The Ember ban is more so that Sing Sing just plays it
Yeah.
only.
Only.
He only plays Ember in the safe lane now.
And they only lost.
They only lost with that hero, so
Maybe they did them a favor.
yeah, probably.
I think
Yeah.
TA is still a hero that strikes me as well when you see those kind of carries banned out. I also think that both play it. Both.
TA.
Yeah. It's quite okay. Windrunner obviously still in the pool.
There it goes again.
It's fine.
I personally quite like Razor against Wisp combo.
Dire
Because the
team
Wisp
pick.
combo generally relies very heavily on that one core, right? And you just link him and follow him in the fight.
Yeah.
It's a hero that Rise plays a ton. But for now, they're going to pick up Disruptor, which is fairly good against the Wisp.
We saw it having so much impact yesterday in the games. I think No Logic Gaming had it most of the time. That we
Yeah,
saw it,
they
and
did, yeah.
they just had like a Milan on the Disruptor was just insane. When they were ahead, because they had a tendency of getting ahead in the laning stage. Apart from the
10
last game they played,
seconds
they got ahead in the laning stage, and then at that point, if you're a Disruptor, there's no getting
5
away
seconds remaining.
from No Logic Gaming at that point. So I'm curious to see how Monkey Freedom Fighters will do with him, and if they're gonna have the
Reserve
same same impact.
Impact, yeah.
And also it means that we are gonna see either Tusk or Undying as a core. Probably Tusk over Undying.
Yeah.
Iron
Should
Shield
be-
Darks, yeah.
Radiant team pick.
Oh, Bounty Hunter.
This is good. I mean, you're not a big fan of Bounty.
I'm not a
because-
fan. I mean, I'm okay with a bounty, but I'm not a fan of IO plus bounty.
I think it's amazing. I think you roam on Bounty Hunter into the jungle.
Yeah, but where's your
you
lockdown?
You find someone,
Your
and
lanes
then,
are really weak.
and then your IO comes in with the.
Yeah, I
the
guess
Villa Bait.
in that way it can do the same thing
Yeah.
as the Bane.
Yeah, it's
but
similar.
yeah, lanes. We talked about them needing to win their lanes.
CK works. It makes your lanes way stronger.
I think what they
10
will do
seconds
is
remaining.
you have a Tusk Undying off lane as of the start.
5 seconds
Then you have
remaining.
You have a Bounty Hunter and Darkseer walking together on the off lane. That's what I'm like, the counterparts.
Dire
And
team
then you need
pick.
an IO combo that can sustain on its own, which I already think is very hard to find a good hero that works well with IO in the early game. Because
Necro,
IO plus Necro is not that good against Tusk Undying.
It's
You
not.
have quite a hard time.
You have a hard time, but you can still sustain okay.
That's Corliss Shrek, by the way, as well. Most likely, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
should be a Lesher core as a mid lane. Yeah.
10 seconds
No.
Oh, actually, it
remaining.
could be a carry role as well.
Because Sing Sing used to play a lot of Leshrac.
5 seconds
When he first came to
remaining.
Dota 2, he played Leshrac and Shadow Shaman rather, mid
Yeah.
all the time.
Reserve time.
Oh, that was long.
That was a long
ago.
time ago, yes.
So the
Radiant team
combo is
ban.
Wisp plus Slaughter.
I like it.
I do not like it.
Okay. I like it because you have a bit of lockdown for when you actually initiate, which they lacked.
It's
They have an AoE stun.
just
But
seems
it's a
very weak.
run at you hero, and if
Dire
anybody is
team
good at countering a run at you hero, it's Disruptor, because he can just glimpse you back while you're trying to
Well,
run
the
at
entire
you.
team of Monkey Freedom Fighters are excellent, like against all these melee heroes as well.
Yeah, it's true.
Tombstone is going to be so good. Kinetic Field is going to be amazing.
But the one thing they have a lot of physical, like they don't really have a lot of
10
physical damage.
seconds
It's all down to their last bit.
Which hero do you feel like No Logic Gaming could have that actually
Templar
deals?
Assassin.
Templar Assassin?
Yeah, they need something with actual physical damage or any damage at all.
It will work
Radiant
well with the
team
Slaughter.
pick.
They are on the dire side. Could get quick Roches.
Yeah, stack the ancients. I think
I feel like this game comes down to initiation. Like, I could see that the Dire team, if they get the jump, like the Monkey Freedom Fighter heroes are fairly squishy, right? You could just wipe them quickly. At the same time, if the fight kind of drags out a bit, I think Monkey Freedom Fighter will win it.
yeah, and so much sustain. The
So
tombstone.
TAs is good, but I'm hoping something that could also give them a little bit of a stronger initiate. But
10 seconds
no really hero
remaining.
comes to mind that could fit both roles.
Monkey Freedom's Fighters draft has so much more
5
balance.
seconds
Like No Logic
remaining.
game, they seem to lack a lot of damage. Like, and control.
Reserve time.
Now, yesterday we had at least the first two games where No Logic Gaming, their draft didn't seem to outshine the one of Empire, yet they still won, basically due to playing their lanes real smart. Is there anything they could do here that maybe slightly gimmicky that maybe Monkey Freedom Fighters would not expect?
Darkseer Bounty Hunter, the Iron Shell on top of the Invis,
Yeah.
that's kind of
10
gimmicky.
seconds.
I guess so, yeah.
Dire
They could
team
do
So
that.
it should be a Leshrac middle and a Luna core.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean Luna carry.
Luna does pretty okay against Darkseer. He has high base damage, you can kill the Iron Shell.
And you go for armor items. So, like, you go for the Helm of the Dominator, so
bit of
instantly
lifesteal.
already
Yeah.
you got a bit of extra armor that Slaughter will take off you, but at least you got a bit of a bonus there.
No, I was talking about against Darkseer in lane.
Oh, I'm talking about later on,
Yeah.
Slaughter.
10 seconds
Mid
remaining.
lane is quite okay. You just have to make sure that you have
There's a
sentry
TA.
wards. So you have the TAS, the mid hero here for Excalibur.
They needed it, but still.
Gonna ask you to call it anyways. What do you think is gonna win?
Monkey Freedom Fighters. I just like no logic have to play amazingly to pull off this draft. I think.
Would you say that their draft makes no logic?
Yeah, I
It's-
would say that.
Thanks.
Okay, their draft is completely 100% dependent on Slaughter having an amazing game. He
Yeah.
needs to be the initiator. He's the only initiator. I guess Darkseer,
Well,
if you count.
The same goes for Templar Assassin. If Templar Assassin has a bad one,
But who's gonna win?
I just have a problem with the matchup top. If what I'm thinking what's going to happen is that you have a Slaughter Wisp top
Yeah.
against the Undying plus Tusk, and I don't think it favors the Slaughter that
But
much.
who's gonna win?
So I'll go with Monkey Freedom Fighter.
What do you think, Lumi?
Same thing, Monkey Freedom Fighter.
Okay, well, we're gonna find out if this couch is correct or if No Logic Gaming can prove them wrong. It is time for our first game, No Logic Gaming versus Monkey Freedom Fighters with Odie Pixel and Draskell.
Hey guys, welcome to the casting panel with myself, Odie Pixel, and of course Draskell. The game has begun, so let's get ourselves straight into the action here between Monkey Freedom Fighters and No Logic Gaming. This is game one of the two-game series, and as always, Andy, I do love to hear your thoughts and feelings on the heroes that have been picked up in this game of Dota 2. So what are your thoughts and feelings, my friend?
I feel NLG, if their lanes are successful and they can snowball with track gold and kind of just run at MFF, I feel like that strategy could work for them, especially since it's going to be a Luna carry and Leshrac. These heroes, if they're playing from behind against what NLG have, I feel like it's going to be a struggle for them. So I think the first 10 to 15 minutes of this game are going to be crazy important for both teams. If MFF get ahead, they're going to have fantastic team fight. They got Tombstone, Kinetic Field, Static Storm, as I think Shane already mentioned on the couch, so that's a great team fight. But everything for me in this game is down to the laning phase.
Let's see how it goes down. And of course, talking about the laning phase, the fact that when we saw NLG yesterday, you know, when they had that really good start for Excalibur, and yeah, they were able to do so much with the lead that they got early on in the series against Empire. So yeah, we'll see if Excalibur's able to step up to that one today. He's going to have to be dealing with a rise on the Lesh. And of course, Leshrac, we don't really see him that much in the mid lane anymore. Sometimes teams like to pick him up in the support position. Bottom lane, I mean, the right clicks here from Sing Sing doing a fair bit, but he's got to be careful from Mitch for the shell. But this bottom lane not going too great for NLG, as we do just see. But yeah, the mid lane Leshrac, why do you feel that they picked it up this game?
I feel like there weren't really a lot of great options left, to be honest. They needed somebody that could actually do okay against TA. Like,
Demon.
yeah, he could be dead.
I think this could be your first blood. They're going to want to just continue in for this one. And Garter won't take it. The salve was expended. And they should be able to toggle off the aggro just here. 5 HP. I mean, playing on the edge, but
Calculated.
calculated. Of
Yeah.
course, of course.
So, I think the Leshrac is one of the spammy type heroes that you play against TA. Not necessarily good for harassing the hero itself, but it is good in the way that you can keep the wave out so TA can't go on you. It's very similar to how SF plays against TA. You just spam nonstop and you just get your bottle. You bottle crow if you have to. If you're not going to have the rune control, which I feel NLG should be able to secure top rune pretty much every single time. So he might be forced to bottle crow once or twice.
And in terms of a skill build here on the mid lane, do you still go for the 2 nukes here, or do you think we'll see an early point into the old Diabolic?
I think with the way that you play this, maybe he gets like 1 value point into it, just in case he gets tower dove by the TA. It can be very useful to have that. But otherwise, you just go for full passive. He is pretty far up right now. Milan's low on health, though.
Yeah, it's going to be a question of if Milan wants to reveal himself, because Arise could turn. He's a little bit low on the mana at the moment, so it'll be quite up to get that, the 1-2 combo. And it looks like this will just be kind of wasted time for the Bounty Hunter, and yeah, he's just going to head top, check out the room.
He's going to have to take it.
There's a DG, and he'll turn and give Demon some here. And they have got backup as well at the IO, and Demon, well, he might just find a kill. He goes straight in onto Milan. He's now going to turn his attention towards Spartan. And he will continue to do so. He does, in fact, have a mango. So in 5 seconds, he's going to turn around and shards potentially.
There's a salve on Spartan as well in the bottle charge.
Bottom lane?
Yep.
Yep, MFF picking themselves up a second kill here. We've already talked about the strength of this bottom lane. One of the reasons why they Bounty Hunter didn't want to stick around there with the Darkseer. It's, I mean, even a Darkseer, as strong as an offlaner as he is, he's got to be very careful when he's going up against a lane with a Disruptor.
Their damage is insane, too. That's the other part of it. Like, Lunar Blessing, extra 14 damage to 3 heroes hitting you at the same time. That adds up very, very quickly. So even a Darkseer who has decent base armor is still going to be struggling with that. They do get a nice D-ward down, though. They get the Observer and the Sentry both with 1. That is some serious value. That means if the Bounty Hunter wanted to stick around bottom a little bit more now, he could. After having checked the supports inventory, he knows there's no more sentries available. And he could probably make something happen, but it seems very tough to pressure the safe lane of MFF for the time being.
And mid lane as well. I mean, Excalibur has got the edge. 22 for 6 in CS compared to the 14 for 5 in a Rise. Bottom lane, yeah, we're seeing them trying to go in again, and they've got the glimpse, bringing Mitch straight back, and it's this combo. You just can't run away from the Disruptor. Milan's trying to turn. Have they got any detection to pop down?
They don't.
Oh, Beaver Knight might pay with his life here. But remember, he's just not even going to reveal himself. Oh, Jesus.
So close.
And now Milan.
1 second. 1 second.
They might just kill him.
Time. Oh, he's dead.
Oh, that was unfortunate for NLG. On the top lane, they did manage to kill Jimmy on the tusk, but the fact that they couldn't get Sing Sing. Oh.
I actually think if the Wisp came down here, this lane would be quite hard for MFF. Like with bottle charges and a tether onto Mitch, or maybe even the Bounty Hunter, like when they go on him, if he gets glimpsed, you just go in with the Wisp and then you just spam bottle charges. I think in the first few levels, it would have been very difficult for them to kill, but now since the Yapzor is 3, he has 1 point into everything. That actually makes it maybe a tiny bit harder. And Tusk versus Slardar 1v1, it's not really that bad for either hero. Yeah, sure, both are going to get some farm, but I think they might have been able to win the off lane if they had the Wisp, but of course it is a little bit late for that. The late transition might not do too many favors for them.
I mean, what do you reckon about obviously Sing Sing's choice here to play the Luna this game? I mean, up against a Slardar and a TA, there's going to be that mid-game point where those heroes are just going to run at you, and as a Luna, you're going to be fairly squishy for a certain window of the game.
They got Snowball, they got Glimpse. There are some ways to stop them from getting in. I think that's kind of what they're relying on the most. And another reason why Lesh is so nice here, because of the fact that they got Slardar, Bounty Hunter. TA's range isn't great, as Jimmy could be dead again.
Oh, Jimmy's already died twice this game. We'll turn around with a quick snowball and shards. Milan getting incredibly low, in fact, will be dropped here as the Sora from Yapzor finishes him off. They do manage to keep Demon alive here. Garter just hanging around, seeing if he can find anything else in return. But yeah, just losing the bounty on the top lane, and yeah, very nice rotation there from Yapzor.
But I do feel that if the game keeps going at this rate, like MFF keep getting these nice small exchanges, it's going to be real hard for Slardar to just kind of run in, you know, because you're running against a Leshrac. If you don't have BKB, you're going to get stunned out. And speaking of top, Yapzor could be in trouble. There is an orb.
Decay. He might need a bit more than that. Jimmy is coming in, and they've got the snowball safe to dodge the crush. Very nice. And Yapzor walking away on 3 HP, and he's going to make it. Milan's starting to dive, but the dust is out, slowing him down. Demon's still moving in, and now Rise has turned up. Yapzor's going to live. Milan's going to lose his life. Spartan lucky to get himself away just on 11 HP. I mean, these are a lot of very close encounters, but overall, it is favoring the side of Monkey Freedom Fighters as they sit 6 for 2 at 6 minutes in.
Did he not see that Yapzor had boots? Because I don't think there's any way you dive that if you notice that Undying has boots.
It was a very ambitious dive.
Yeah, he was trying to get a shuriken, but very hard in that situation. Undying is already fast, and on top of boots, he runs at 360. So there was really no chance for him to get that kill at all. Very unfortunate that he ends up committing that hard for it. Yeah, bottom lane. Mitch could be in some trouble again.
Yeah, this could be another...
He's dead. There's nothing he can do.
There really isn't.
Yeah.
I mean, both off-laners having a hard time this game. Jimmy dying a few times, and so's Mitch here for the side of NLG.
It's way worse, though, for NLG to lose their Darkseer. Like, I think at this point, you just go to jungle. Like, you're not pressuring the lane anymore. You're pretty much just an extra creep for the Luna to farm. I mean, it sounds harsh, but the reality is Disruptor is one of the best heroes against offlaners like that when you have a safe laner who can do a good amount of damage.
Mid lane, Milan. He's going to hang around, see if he can do something against a Rise, but at this point it's going to be fairly hard. They will have obviously the slows with the trap, so Excalibur could try and dive. But yeah, Milan's going to hold back, look elsewhere on the map, and yeah, as you said, Mitch, taking your advice and sticking to the jungle here. So at the least, you know, they're not going to be giving any more kills away to Sing on the Luna, but this is going to give them the space for Luna to get a lot of farm and start to get some pressure on the tower. It looks like they're just going to put Milan down on this lane so he can soak up some of the XP. I mean, he can try for a bit of harassment, but it's going to be very risky to do so. Top lane Garter just taking a decay from Yapzor. And his farm at the moment, 33 for 10. Not as good as the Sing, of course, on that Luna. 43 for 24 at the moment.
Well, that's what happens when you get multiple kills on the offlaner.
Yep.
Like, you get to a point where you know the offlaner is going to leave. You can just static farm if you want. If you want to pressure, that's also an option. Luna is great at taking towers early, so if you want to turn the Aquila on and just push it out, which it seems like he is doing for the time being, that's always a good option. I'm kind of curious as to why NLG stuck around bottom for so long. Maybe they just wanted to keep bo2 away from mid. I mean, that's one of the only things that I can think of. You don't want the Disruptor moving around because he can actually just straight up kill. For example, on the TA, if he has Dust, same thing that happens to the offlaner. So maybe they were just trying to keep Steve safe by having him down here.
I think Sing does realize that, you know, Milan might be hanging around. A lot of pings coming out. But Milan's going to get away with it.
This stack, though.
Yeah, this is nice for Steve. And I've got to be honest, I think a lot of this at this point is going to be on how active the TA can be at this point of the game, because Steve's had a great time. You know, he's coming out on top of the mid lane compared to Arise, but this could be a bit of a disaster here. The snowball, actually, yeah, with the shards pushing him out, and the sun's going to be whiffed from Arise, and Excalibur's just going to turn and try and look for a kill. Demon will simply TP out, nothing to cancel that one. They couldn't get the Slardar in quick enough. A little bit unfortunate there for the side of MFF that they go that deep and aren't able to take the kill on Excalibur, which would have been very important for them.
I really like this smoke play from NLG. They know that one hero just TP'd out, so there's pretty much no way the Tusk can come in to save, so they're going to go for a dive here, I think.
Let's see, and they need this as well. Jumping straight in onto Sing. They're going to need some backup here. Sing trying to bash, cancelling the cast animation. Yapzor turns up, but he's all alone. The third kill there in the fight for NLG as they take down the Tombstone as well. And that is exactly what they need to be doing here with this TA, just getting Excalibur into these early fights where Luna just doesn't even have a chance.
Yeah, that's the one downside. So I think they pick Luna because they know it's a strong partner with Disruptor, in the sense that you know you can win your safe lane with those two heroes against Darkseer and even the Bounty, because you can do so much damage. But it's not really strong if the enemy team is 5-manning you with a very early blink, and Garter...
They're TPing in.
Yeah, they want something.
I mean, it looks like they're going to try and run. Yeah, Mitch is just going to surge himself out. And they won't be able to get anything from the side of NLG. They get themselves safely out. After the back of that fight, we do have, of course, TA and the Slardar at the top of the net worth. So, all things said and done, NLG turning around what was a little bit of a shaky early game. Very nicely, 10 minutes in.
Yeah, that fight was huge for them. Getting that tower that easily, going down there, trading 3 for 1, defending their Ancient stack on top of everything else. Like, that's also key, because they didn't even try to kill it. They just smoked up right after they saw Demon TP away, and they just went for the dive. They knew they had the heroes to just run at you, especially with that nice Blink Dagger timing coming out from Garter. There's very good coordination and synergy between the teams. So I'm still looking at the Leshen. I'm thinking, does he actually go Yules here? Because he did buy a Sage's Mask. It could just be the standard Soul Ring into Bloodstone, though, as well. But I think having Yules is actually crazy strong this game. Just being able to get that free setup on a stun, especially on like a surged hero, for example, it just lets you peel so much more for your team, which I kind of feel like Arise needs to do.
Ooh, okay, relocate up top here, Garter.
Yeah, they gotta run.
Yeah, he's getting himself out. The TP started to come in. They'll see if they can find anything off the bat, but no, they're too speedy. NLG get themselves out, but just trying for these little kind of plays. That's exactly what they need to be doing at this point. If they can kill Sing once again, it's going to be pretty painful for MFF's progression.
He even went up there assuming that there might be a fight breaking out. I think there is really good synergy between the Luna and the Tusk this game too. If you get into a snowball and you can pop your Eclipse in a good way with all these melee heroes, it's actually very tough for NLG to deal with that. The only one who's good against it is obviously Excalibur. Like, Refraction can eat a majority of the charges, so that's one nice thing. But I think these ultimates from MFF, if they're placed well, it's going to be pretty hard to fight into.
Well, let's see what the next bit of a plan is here. What's Garter got at the moment on his Slardar?
I think he just has Blink still, right? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's just time to build on top of that. I mean, if they could catch out bo2 here in the mid lane, But it's going to be hard because obviously MFF now playing a little bit more carefully. Sing Sing is going out on his own on this bottom lane. And that's something that they might need to think twice about because, yeah, there's a bit of a movement coming in from NLG. They're looking to send some heroes down here. Milan trying to get some vision. If they catch Sing Sing out in terms of vision, it is night time. They've got to be very careful. And there's actually going to be a smoke up from MFF, so maybe even thinking about trying to wrap around onto a Sing Sing bait. The pings are out on Roshan. There's no one in there at the moment. And just getting the wards out here, and with that they will spot these, but straight away the D ward's there. So very nicely done by
that's
NLG.
actually so bad to drop your ward and just have it instantly die.
Oh, some smart decision making here from NLG. Keeping it cool, keeping it safe. Steve on his TA, going for the Desolator first after those treads.
He's almost got it actually.
Dire's bottom tower is
So like
under
900
attack.
away, something like that. That's not too bad. Counter smoke comes in. They just go straight for Roshan here. Okay. I like this. You got the Meld minus armor. You got Slardar. You got TA to tank it with Refraction. It's a pretty low risk move, and as it stands right now, MFF, they don't really seem to know.
And they can't really do anything
Oh, you know
about
why?
it.
Because they showed Darkseer top, so they might not think about it because of that. They are kind of lingering in the area, but it's going to be way too late.
It's already going to amplify and meld. That's a lot of armor reduction.
Easy peasy.
A lot indeed. Easy Aegis here for Excalibur. 14 minutes in. Just TP himself. Back to base, in fact. What was he picking up? Was he picking up the completed... was it just the second Mithram on the TA?
Nah, he
No,
doesn't
not
have
yet.
it.
Okay, he's
not
got-
yet.
Okay, not quite
He
yet.
put his stick on the courier, I think, when he picked up the
yeah,
Aegis.
to
That's
get
what
the
he did.
Aegis
Yeah. He did drop his stick, confirmed.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Well, a couple
attack.
of things still going well for MFF. They now have Static Storm available. They have the Eclipse. They have Walrus Punch. So all the important heroes, I think, for hitting level 6 ultimate-wise are where they need to be. So even with that second life on Excalibur, there is a good opportunity for MFF to take a fight. Like a well-placed Static Storm, Eclipse, that fight's over. Like there's no BKB. You're not going to be able to really save anyone outside of like a tether relocate. Or maybe you're lucky and you can get a surge and run. But if you're inside the kinetic field, you're a goner.
Middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, Sing Sing at the moment, still trying to get the money here for the completed help.
Dire's
On
structures
top of his
are
treads and
fortified.
Aquila.
Radiant's top
then we'll
tower
see,
is under attack.
We'll see what he can do with kind of what he's got at his disposal. Because with the Luna, I guess you do still do a fair bit of damage with the passive. But, I mean, you aren't going to be winning a 1v1 versus a hero like a TA or a Slardar until you've got at least a couple more major items online.
Definitely not. You don't even want to man fight TA, like at any
just
stage in the
ever,
game, I
yeah.
feel. You just kind of get wrecked by Meld. Unless you have like evasion and he doesn't have an MKB, that could be like one time where you could just stand toe-to-toe, but more often than not, you're kind of there for your ultimate. Your push potential is good, and obviously your ultra late game is also good. Like when you have like Butterfly, Satanic, BKB, Manta, you know, like that late game. That's actually very hard to deal with because you can no longer just be bursted down if you time your Manta properly and get rid of that amp. But that is also something to keep in mind here, is I've said this before, it's very hard to be tanky against Slardar. Like you have to be very far ahead and build like Vlad's, have an AC on your team as well to really feel comfortable playing into that minus armor.
Just continues to just make the ancient stacks here. Sure that Excalibur can find some more gold into his pocket later on, but for the time being, they're going to smoke up. They've got that Deso, and they are ready to blow up a hero on the side of MFF. There's no one farming the bottom lane at the moment. In fact, is this a smoke up from MFF as well? Yeah, it is. So a bit of these smokes coming out at the same time, and it's going to be a case of both teams avoiding each other unless the full wraparound comes from NLG here, up by the Radiant Secret Shop.
I like MFS smoke a tiny bit more, just because even if they don't find anything, they can still pressure the tier 1.
Yes.
NLG are just kind of looking for something. They did actually place one ward with their smoke, so that makes a little bit more sense for me. Like oftentimes you see a team smoke, they place wards aggressively just to make sure they can keep vision, but MFF, they're going for an objective. They're not going to have any contention on this tier 1. As of right now, NLG just willing to sack it, so they'll try to go for the tier 2. But MFF are going to have plenty of time to get back. And there's only 2 minutes left before this Aegis expires on Excalibur. Still no BKBs up on the side of NLG either. I feel MFF's team fight is very strong, but their Lesh is out of mana, pretty much.
I'm kind of interested about Sing Sing at the moment. He's got 2k gold in the bank on this Luna after the Helm. I mean, do you think he's going to be saving up for anything instead of finishing off the Helm of the Dominator and just sticking with the Iron Helm?
I think it could have been a laning phase item. Like sometimes you buy the Helm of Iron Will for regen and armor just for tanking creep waves if there's a Darkseer there. That is common. But he could go back and buy like BKB straight up if he feels he needs it.
Talking about going back, they need to, because the pressure's being put onto the tier 3 here. They will see the Tombstone drop, but Excalibur heads onto the front line trying to remove it. Has of course got that Aegis. Guards will get dragged back. They'll find themselves the first kill here on the defense. Now the Aegis have been popped here on Excalibur.
This is real bad.
Mitch and Milan have to be
dead.
very, very careful, and Excalibur will turn onto Demon. He'll find one, but now here comes the ult from Sing Sing. They clean up. They've found 2 more. They've found a 4th.
That was brutal.
As NLG pretty much wiped. Milan will live, but a very unsuccessful high ground push attempt. I mean, they didn't even get the tier 3, did they? No, they didn't get the tier 3.
They barely even touched it, to be honest.
All right.
Okay, so that was pretty much just down to Garter going way too ham. Like, he blinks past the tier 3 into tier 4s into a Tusk of all heroes, right?
He's a madman.
Like, you know there's a Disruptor on the team. He's got level 4 Glimpse, there's a Tusk, and that's the hero that you choose to initiate on out of anyone? That was just not the greatest decision-making that I've ever seen.
All right.
Got it.
Didn't have anything on, but nonetheless, a bit more gold in the pockets there of NLG. He's coming in, drops the Sentry, hopes for Milan to wander that way, but Milan's going to play it smartly. Stick to the
He's
line.
got another one, and Dust, so if Milan comes out for any reason, then he'll be spotted.
Well, Arise with the Yules on top of that 1,500 gold. I mean, at this point, does he just go for the Bloodstone, or is there anything else that the Lesh could be thinking about?
I think Bloodstone now is fine.
Yeah. Okay.
I think just having an early Yules against this kind of team composition, again, it's about getting them, like getting the distance between you and them. Like if the TA gets in your face and the Slardar gets in your face, you're in a lot worse of a situation. But if you can Yules them and run away and line up a stun, that is like the dream. This team can kite out very well on the side of MFF between having Glimpse, Kinetic Field, Snowball to dodge, Sigil. They have good movement speed on their core heroes. So there is potential for kiting out, and I feel MFF are looking real good right now. They are going to hit Milan with that.
Did they just find him with the dust?
They,
I heard a dust. It did catch him.
They didn't notice fast enough. So Yapzor didn't ping. Maybe he said something, but he got a decay stack from throwing that into fog. So if he noticed it, he could have just pinged the spot, and there could have been a potential canceled TP, but didn't react quickly enough.
Steve here on his TA does have the Blink Dagger on its way as well now. So with a Blink Deso, 20 minutes, not too shabby of a timing at all. You've got to be careful on the side of MFF, but at the same time, they do have ways to deal with someone jumping in. I mean, they've got a Rise with the Yules, they've got the Glimpse from the Disruptor, I mean, even something just like the Snowball as well from Tusk. There are ways that they can stop it. They've just got to be very careful. They've got to stick with Sing, because if he jumps onto Sing Sing at this point on his Luna, then it could be an easy pick-off for Steve. But I'm sure MFF will play it safely and ensure that there's always going to be someone around to help Sing Sing live through the initial burst.
It is minus 15 armor if you get melded right now with the Deso. So you're going from 19 armor to 4. Pretty big difference when you only have 1,200 health on Strength Treads. You get Amp on top of that, you can die in like 2 hits. So very, very scary time right now for MFF. Once that Luna gets farmed, though, I think they're going to be struggling a bit on NLG. Like, he gets up to Manta.
Yeah.
I think going Manta first is great against this team, because really the only thing that's scary to you is amplify damage. So buying a BKB would kind of be like a last-ditch effort if you were defending high ground, but Manta not only lets you farm more effectively, but it gives you that escape mechanism from being able to like walk into trees or just flat out run away, get rid of track as well. They're going on mid.
Yeah, we talked about it. Sing Sing gets left alone, and he has been here. He's all on his own, no one here beside him, and that's exactly what MFF don't want to be doing, leaving Sing on his own, because that's just going to happen every time with an IO in the game and the blink on the TA.
Oh, that sentry! The one!
Beautiful timing. Can they actually do anything with it, though? Because they're running away. Garter's moving in, and so's Steve. They'll find the crush. He does get glimpsed back. Steve's still hanging on the sidelines here. The Tombstone doing quite a bit in terms of just cancelling the blinks and stopping them from going further in. We'll see if this continues now. Steve's just going to head to the jungle, pick up some farm. He's not interested in fighting. The rest of his team, though, are still grouped up in the mid lane here. No Logic Gaming. Spartan coming in from the side, but MFF, they're playing it safely. They don't want to risk taking a fight, especially when Sing Sing's down. Well, Sing Sing will be back up now. We'll see if they do anything with this, but the track's still on Yap, so it's not going to wear out. Okay, and there's level 11 on Sing. He's got the ultimate back online as well, so they could look to fight here. And he's still yet to spend his money. I mean, is there any chance that he will just go for the S&Y this game instead, or do you just feel that Manta is too good?
I feel like Manta is very valuable.
Yeah.
He did finish the Helm of the Dominator before going for the full Manta.
Yeah.
But he could just be doing that as an efficient play to save for buyback. But that part makes sense, because he's not going to buy like an ultimate orb and then replace a bracer with it, because the value is minimal from that, right? Like you're getting 7 agility, 7 int, and then what, 4 strength? Big deal. Like that's not worth it for the cost, but finishing the Dominator gives you 20 damage for 900 gold. That's a pretty good investment. You get the bonus lifesteal. You can start stacking.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
I'm kind of worried though for MFF. Like even though they've had a good amount of map control this game, I feel once Excalibur and the Slardar get to BKBs, they're gonna really struggle with physical damage. Like who's gonna actually be killing these heroes? You're gonna be looking to bo2 to get like an Aghanims at some point, but he is broke. He is playing the hard 5 this game. So he's got not even a point booster to his name.
Yeah.
So I feel like they should try to do something.
Well, there we go now with the push on in the mid lane. It's going to be a pretty good push as well, of course, with that Edict and Mr. Sing Song. With that extra damage from the passive. Lan's hanging on the sidelines. At the same time on the bottom lane we see NLG trying to get a bit of action going on themselves here. Excalibur just pushing the lane and has Spartan as well. With that relocate, if a fight does kick on in the mid. Well, just getting the tracks out here, and they're going to jump straight onto him. Beautiful sentry placement. That's going to allow them a free kill down to the Bounty Hunter. Nothing that NLG can do in reaction to that one. And still hanging around at the bottom. The pings are coming out. It's going to be a TP to the top lane from Sing as he finds Mitch. And Mitch, yeah, with a cheeky vacuum blink. Sing will continue to farm this up, and he has now racked up the 2k gold towards that ultimate orb, if that's what he's going to be getting. And it is, yeah. The courier's going out. He's got the recipe. So that's going to be the Manta Star now complete on Sing. So it's going to be a little bit harder to get, you know, for the catch outs to be as easy as they have been for NLG when they find him alone across the map.
And that Manta is going to be real key for this fight too. Could be the difference between winning and losing. This Roshan is dying super fast
They need to get that. They need to get that Monkey Freedom Fighters.
They're sending in the sigil.
Here we go. They're going to be able to jump in.
Good tombstone.
Yapsil's ready to fight straight in the snowball as well. They should be able to find it, and Excalibur's just melting there to the damage into Garcher as well. But they do find the Aegis. The Dire kill him, and Steve did get his hands on it. He's also managed to get himself out as well. And now with the Yules onto Mitch, they found themselves a double kill for a Rise. So all things said and done, well, Spartan's going to lose his life here as well.
He relocated
out.
the TA back to base when he got the Aegis.
I mean, Spartan, we saw him with the Eye the other day, and he was just saving everyone left, right, and center, and doing exactly the same here.
He was on point. I just want to mention really quickly, if that Slardar had BKB during that fight, like he is pretty close, you know, maybe like 1100 gold away. If they waited until BKBs on both the TA and the Slardar to take that, I'd say they probably win that fight. Just because their cores deal so much damage that you can't last a 10-second BKB if you can't use any spells on the opponent, right? Like they don't have any escape mechanisms. All of their heroes are relying on just Snowball to get you out of a bad situation if there's magic immunity. So I feel like that's very hard to utilize in a tight-knit space like that. So maybe a bit unfortunate that NLG don't get the Roshan without losing something for it. I think a 3-hero trade, MFF are probably going to be feeling all right about that. Just depends on what Excalibur can do with this BKB Aegis and Blink Dagger.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what his game plan is. At the moment, Milan just getting the intel, so Sing's up on the top lane. And Steve just farming the enemy jungle at the moment. Knows that there is a bit of action going on top, so he's safe to do so. No need to be scared. I mean, what does he go for now after the BKB? Does he just continue to build more damage here? We're going to see something like a Daedalus come out?
Yeah, I think Daedalus is really good. MKB is also good.
MKB might be the option.
I don't believe that anyone... Okay, so there is a Solar Crest in the making on Demon. So he might see that and opt in for the MKB. I think it's a safe choice. You still do plenty of damage. But Daedalus is kind of like that I can one-shot the Disruptor kind of play. It's very nice. You just go into somebody and you blow them up with a crit. That Disruptor is making up lads, by the way. I actually like that.
Top lane, Freedom Fighters finding themselves a free tier 2. At the same time, Excalibur is moving in. Want to try and clear out this tier 3. The TPs are coming out. You got to get yourself straight back, and they'll even smoke for the extra speed as well. And yeah, as you said,
it's actually more for the vision than it is the speed.
Oh, okay.
Because the thing is, like, if the Absol is chasing them and they don't smoke, there's vision for glimpse, and that means one of the heroes dies. At the very least, Spartan's gonna have to use relocate to get the TA out, or I guess he could have BKB'd it. I don't know. It is a nice play though, very safe.
Yeah, I mean, this is the one thing, of course, with that Dessa. Anytime that bottom lane gets left alone, you're going to expect to see Steve in there with Spartan.
Yeah. And I mean, that is actually a pretty good hero at ratting if you think about it. If this lane is always pushed in, the TA does a lot of damage to towers because of the Deso. So you could look to even trade if you're not in a position where you feel like you can take the team fights.
No, without a doubt. And, I mean, talking about the team fights, we do have MFF moving as a 5-man now up this bottom lane, but look at NLG's position. They're ready for this. They're hiding in the sidelines.
Just farm 200 gold. You could have BKB so soon. Just sell your bottle or something.
He's about to kill some people. That'll give him the money.
Oh, hopefully they kill some people. That'll give him his BKB.
Sing Sing. On the front, Mitch moving forward, looking for the initiation, finds a vacuum onto one, but Garza gets the follow-up crush. Now there's the ultimate coming through. Excalibur has put the BKB, moving on to Beaver Knight. They've already lost Mitch though here. He didn't manage to get down the wall. This is going to be the big point in this fight. They've lost Steve once here. They did get the crush onto the Tusk. Demon's been taken down, so it's a 1 for 2. The Aegis taken into account here, but they will find Excalibur a second time. And now Spartan just left alone on the sidelines. We'll get the Tether across and relocates back to base here. But again, MFF with the favorable trade. I don't think Spartan's going to want to bring anyone back into this one, as he'll almost certainly just use his life here as well. And yeah, he's
nice playing from Girder.
He's taken down it. A third kill here for the side of MFF. They'll get the tier 2 as well, and with 3 heroes down, I don't think they'll have any reason to stop this push here on this bottom lane, and they may even be able to force out some buybacks here as Steve is still down for 30 seconds. And
without BKB, I don't think buying back is even really worth it. At least not for the TA.
Okay.
The hero who has the least, I guess, net worth really should buy back in a situation, because you don't want your TA to buy.
Garza, nice crush onto 2, looking for Sing Sing here.
Okay.
He's going to put the Manta here, the Yours as well, holding back the Slardar. He's trying to move forward, pots the BKB, they want to go. Excalibur's ball back here, they need to try and find something. Yapsor will get the Tombstone down here from the sidelines. Sing Sing's just going to TP out. In fact, they're all TPing out. Will they be able to cancel any? No, they won't. Not in time. He'll rise. Oh! He needed a bash there. He didn't find a Garza.
That was an incredibly slow reaction from Mitch. He should have very easily had that vacuum.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate there.
He must have been looking like farther down or to the left and didn't realize that the hero was there. Like sometimes you do that when you're chasing, right? Like you're looking ahead of where you're going, not necessarily like to the side. And he might have just not seen it fast enough. But that buyback was very costly again.
Yep, and they only found an Undying, which is, I mean, they were hoping for a lot more there.
But you could see the real problem with these team fights, right? Like that last fight bottom, NLG, they take it very split up. They have 2 heroes committing to killing a freaking Tusk, while their TA is sitting inside of a Static Storm fighting 3 heroes. Like that is 0 coordination. And the other thing too is since Excalibur popped his BKB, Mitch ate the entirety of the Eclipse stuck in a kinetic field and couldn't run away and just dies. So your Darkseer dies for no reason. Just saving the BKB could have potentially split the damage enough to where he lives. Your BKB is on Slardar, he doesn't feel scared and can actually go into the fight. Like there are so many things that went wrong there for NLG. And yeah, sure, they can still fall back on the idea that their lineup can still kill with mass minus armor and double BKB on their cores, but you can't continually make these mistakes. MFF will eventually have enough of an advantage to start pushing your high ground.
Yeah, and I mean, the advantage in the moment, the fact that they've got these 2 very farm core, there's what, 12 Bloodstone charges, I believe, on Arise at the moment. He's having a pretty good game, going for, I guess, the Shiva's Guard next.
He is definitely getting there.
And then, oh, how close was that Undying to the Aghanims? Pretty close.
Pretty close, yeah.
He's got more than halfway there. So it's going to be a little hard for NLG to fight into, to say the least, when these items come out for the side of MFF.
I think it's already kind of looking pretty grim. There's a Solar Crest on Demon. They're going for this backstab play.
Look at these guys here hanging in the trees.
They're going to need to relocate to be on point. Like, they need to be on the target and kill it.
They need to have everyone here. I mean, they've got the wall. If they can find an opening, but Arise coming in with an Invis rune.
Oh my god.
Oh, Arise spots them all out.
Is this where you just drop a kinetic field in there?
I think you just go for it. They're just going to go for it, MFF. They know that, yep, they're all here. In we go, straight onto Mitch. Darkseer's out of the fight. Milan's got to run. Garter's going to get glimpsed back here. Will pop the BKB to ensure that he keeps his life. But that Invis rune there from Arise and that awareness to check out that spot of the map, hats off to the man.
Yeah, that was just very, very thorough play from Arise. But it is kind of obvious to a certain point, right? Like, you only see maybe 1 hero on the map at that point. Actually, I don't think they saw anyone. So it could have been everyone missing. Just checking into fog at that point when you have the invis, that's just, it's something that you should do that a lot of players don't. but just making that play put them in a great position to take the fight because NLG had no idea that they were scouted.
Oh, buyback from Darkseer as well. I mean, these fights are going to be risky because at this point there's 3 buybacks on cooldown for NLG. They're going for the
push.
wrap. Yeah. Can they get the vision here for a glimpse? Yes, they can. Spartan. He's going to be the free pick off on this one.
All right.
There's a butterfly now done on Sing Sing. Excalibur looks for the TP out. We'll be able to make it here.
He's going to wish he made MKB soon.
Yeah.
Because with Solar Crest and a butterfly.
I mean, at this point, does he just go for the MKB rather than finishing off the Daedalus in its entirety?
It's a hard thing to do because you're actually running low on inventory space at this point. So you're just saying to yourself, do I want to sacrifice like 1,000 gold that I spent on this Crystallis to sell it to go for something else? Because you don't want to have to carry around a Demon Edge. Then you can't have a TP, right? Then you're also contemplating buying bots when you need damage. So he's actually put himself in a really bad spot in terms of itemization. Maybe hoping that the last couple of team fights went better, so he didn't need to worry about evasion at that point. Because a little while ago, it was just the medallion, right? And it was just like a talisman of evasion. Okay, that's manageable, even with crit. But now it's like you really actually need MKB because you're just going to miss so much if you're trying to attack that target.
Well, in the jungle at the moment, MFF positioned very aggressively here. I mean, if anyone comes out from the side of NLG, they'll get a bit of a shock if they head towards this jungle. They're going to move forward here. Rise is clearing out the wave. The push with the Manta illusions from Sing has managed to find itself up to the high ground, and they would love to go here. Excalibur jumping in onto a Rise, gets the trap slow as well. Is he going to try and move out for more? No, he's going to think twice about that one. There is backup here on the side of Monkey Freedom Fighters. You got a bit of a push coming out on the bottom lane from Mitch on his Darkseer. And it's going to warrant a TP back here from Jimmy on the Tusk. That just burst down the wave. Milan moving forward. There's going to actually be a relocate in. They want to fight, but the Tombstone's dropped here. Excalibur pops the BKB, but they've already lost the eye. The damage for Sing is just too much. And look, Excalibur just melts to the damage there at the Beaver Knight. Double kill for Sing Sing. Garter's trying to do what he can with the BKB, but he's got to run. It's always going to be certainly another kill, and it is. Arise there with a wicked 6th Street, taking down Garter. And that was not the relocate that NLG were looking for there, because Sing Sing just cleaned through them all there with that DD in tow as well now on the Luna.
Yeah, I think a lot of things went wrong for NLG this game. I do think their draft was capable of winning. I think maybe doing the tri-lane with the Wisp bottom instead of having it with Slardar could have been a better play in order to pressure that lane even harder. Like, just force the Luna to not get any farm, at the very least. And then maybe your Darkseer gets to a faster Arcane boot mech. Maybe, you know, your Slardar and Tusk trade even on both teams. That's fine with NLG. Your TA was still getting good farm. The supports aren't going to be rotating. So you're kind of playing the same style of early game, but you're actually pressuring the one big threat that you're going to have to worry about during late game, which is Sing, right? Because now he's at a point where you can't deal with them. They walk down, they get middle racks with ease. They're going to get a second set here. I don't think NLG have what they need to deal with this Luna at this point.
Yeah, this is pretty bad now for NLG. I mean, as I was saying before the game, I felt that if this game goes 30, 40 minutes in, MFF kind of get past the rough point, they're just going to be in their element. And it's a position where NLG just, they seem to struggle when they're putting this, you know, they are behind. They've tried for those kills in the mid game. We've seen them dive onto Sing Sing. They found him a couple of times, but that was it. He's only died twice this game on the Luna. He's got 7 kills, 10 assists. There's now Nags on the Undying.
Relocate.
Now, let's see if they can find anything that's relocate. Excalibur puts the BKB, looking for way to find one. Maybe he can find Yapso as well, but Yapso's pretty tanky here. Is he tanky enough, though? Goes with a clap, but yeah, with the second meld hit and the right clicks, Excalibur will get himself a double. Now with a snowball in from Jimmy.
Oh,
look at
he didn't take Excalibur!
Oh, Excalibur.
That is unfortunate.
Oh, no.
He is dead.
Oh, no.
Oh, he missed the stun. I still did that.
Left alone.
Did he, like,
behind.
miss tether? Was it... Something definitely went wrong there.
Excalibur got forgot.
A very, I would say, uncommon misplay from Spartan's Wisp.
Yeah, we've seen him save everyone every time. This time, it's probably just like, well, screw you guys.
You served your purpose to me, TA. Yep. I am done.
I mean, TA is dead for 60 seconds. They do have a buyback available. Sings is going to look for Roche.
Oh, this is just awful, actually.
Free Roche here for MFF at this point. I mean, they can try and fight, but they're fighting without their TA, one of their main damage sources.
Yeah, I don't think you can kill this Luna anymore.
If this is good, they're going to buy back for it. They really want to go. Garza jumps straight in, but the Yules is already there. Sing Sing's got the ult ready if he wants to use it, but the BKB comes out from Garza. Garza trying to man-fight Demon, and he will be able to get it. No, the Snowball coming out just in time. Beaver Knight has the Amplifier, and now with the Snowball forward onto Mitch. Now the blink back. Demon's going to live for the time being, but Milan and Garza there with the finish up crush. Now Sing Sing comes out with the ultimate. The BKB is popped by Excalibur. Man to start from Beaver Knight as he continues to fight. They found the Iris. A double kill here for the Luna. They're chasing down Excalibur. They'd love to find more, and they should be able to do it. Rise is moving in as well. Garza get his lovely two-man crush. They're buying some time for Excalibur to escape, and Excalibur will be able to get the blink off, so they get the TA out of this one. Garza might be a little less lucky here. He's trying to get himself with the tree line, but the Rise is there with the vision from the Shiva's guard. Garza's hiding in the corner. Godlike streak for Rise as he takes him down as well. And NLG with 4 heroes on the deck. I mean, that was the play that they needed to go for. Is admirable with the buyback on Steve, trying to fight off the back of Garza's initiation, and it looked all right, but they just can't do anything against Sing now. Sing is just too fat and too farmed on this Luna. 21k net worth, Satanic Butterfly, Manta Style, 2.8k in the bank and level 20. They just can't kill the Luna, and he just does too much damage in these fights.
Yeah, it was a battle of item progression between the TA and the Luna, and right now the TA is behind. So I mentioned it early on, if the TA is ahead and you have what you need to be able to sit there and just burst the Luna down, then you're going to be in a good position. But NLG lost a couple of really key team fights. The bottom one, I think, was the most important fight that they didn't even have to take. Like, they were chasing away from a tier 2. They weren't even defending their own buildings at that point. They were just going for an aggressive play. Just let the Slardar farm 200 gold. Like, that makes such a big difference in these team fights when you don't have BKB. Especially against heroes like Leshrac and Luna, who have that ridiculous magical damage output.
And they just go for the win here. Arise is going to have a bit of a fun blinking in. That's Garza now as well with a nice wall, but the Static Storm with the kinetic field's been popped down by MFF, making it hard to fight in.
Yeah.
Garza's BKB is going to run out fairly shortly, and when it does, he's almost certainly going to go down. He gets a nice multi-man crush. That is irrelevant at this point. GG is called. And well, there we have it. Monkey Freedom Fighters taking game 1 against the side of No Logic Gaming. And it was a tough one for NLG. They had a little bit of a point, you know, what, 10, 12 minutes in when they found a really nice fight down on the bottom lane. Yep. Which is, they just kind of needed to find more of those fights, and it didn't happen. MFF were just on top of it. As I said, Sing ends up dying, 2 times this game, once on that bottom fight, and the other time when he was a little bit too far out mid, but they just didn't make those mistakes again. And No Logic couldn't find the opening to get themselves back on top. MFF with the victory.
It was a very nicely played game from MFF. Like, they didn't overextend at all. They had a couple of like heroes get picked, but that's kind of what you have to expect when you're playing against NLG's draft, right? You got Relocate, you got a Bounty Hunter, you got Blink TA, Blink Slardar. You're going to lose heroes